the good, the bad, the ugly. Welcome to Keke Wyatt's world.
Powerhouse vocalist, Avant's right-hand woman, and white-passing cryracial advocate Keke Wyatt has been in the music game for a little minute now. A good 20 plus years or so, and since her entrance, we gotta hand it to her. She hasn't been in much publicized riff-raff. However, in recent years, I hate to say it, but Keke has been on some other ish, and I don't think y'all peeped it. Something is a little strange about Miss Wyatt. Wyatt, not Palmer. I don't want nobody running back to their kinfolks talking about Keke Palmer is off her rocker. Keke Wyatt may be more known for knocking her ex-husband's head off his shoulders on that one unfortunate Christmas day than she is for her music. But Keke takes singing from her gut to a whole other level. Emerging from the outskirts of R&B singer Avant's 2000s He Said, She Said duet, My First Love, Keke almost threw in the towel early due to shady business practices that we all know can come along with being in that particular industry. Thanks to American Idol's Randy Jackson, who convinced a young Keke to not throw in the towel, Keke persevered, creating a new fan base in the States as well as overseas in places like South Korea, Japan, and Europe. More than 500,000 copies of her first solo debut album, Soul Sister, convinced music execs that she was the one to watch. Soul Sister went on to reach number 33 on Billboard's Hot 200 and stayed on the top 10 on several R&B charts. What was supposed to have been a high moment in her life was anything but, as Keke would learn soon enough just how dirty the industry can really be. She became more of a test dummy than an artist. My First Love had been recorded when she was just 16 and released by the time she was 18. Being young, excited, and impressionable, Keke failed to peep the rushed nature of it all. Her label gave her just 2 weeks to record an entire album, which she says wasn't anything new to her, given that she's been recording since age 10.
I'm living in a fantasy.
Gospel, like many other black artists' starter genres, was a musical stint she excelled at for a while. By ages 15 and 16, she was getting paid $1,500 to sing demo tracks. A hit record came out of Keke's writing abilities, but unfortunately she'd go uncredited. None of that mattered because, like Keke's mother told her, at the end of the day, you're going to be a star. Indianapolis, Indiana is where that star power first began brewing. Born to Lorna Wyatt, a vocalist, and Keke Wyatt, a vocalist and organist, it goes without saying Keke's musical talent stems from deep within her blood. A family rooted in the gospel, 4 brothers plus herself, despite Keke's mama being whiter than the Pillsbury Doughboy, she and her brothers were raised in a predominantly black American household. Negroes everywhere. Which is why when Keke came out of the woodwork crying biracial tears, hollering about how black people oppress Jewish people, the black community were taken aback, confused, and downright flabbergasted. 'Cause Keke, whatever do you mean, sister girl? But before we get into what we're all really here for, let's go over a few things that may give you better insight on Keke's so-called questionable behavior. By the time Keke was 18, she was already on her grown woman stuff. I know 18-year-olds who watch cartoons and snuggle with stuffed animals in their free time, and here Keke was already married with children. Then road manager Ramont Morton would take Keke's hand in marriage before divorcing in 2009. 8 whole years after Keke came out and disclosed to the public that she had stabbed her then husband in self-defense to quote-unquote protect her children. Now, I know we're not here to judge, but I like to consider y'all as the internet jury from time to time. So let me ask, if you stab your husband in so-called self-defense, would you then feel safe enough to stay with dude a whole almost decade later after the fact? Let me know in the comments. Keke and Ramont went on to have 3 kids together. There would have been a 4th, however, by the end of their marriage, Keke suffered from a stillbirth. Remarrying in 2010 to Michael Ford, by 2013, Keke had 6 children, and by 2016, she was up to 7. Ford and Keke would later divorce by the summer of 2018, and she jumped into another relationship just 2 months later in that same year to a childhood ex-boyfriend, Zachariah Dowry. A month later, Keke welcomed her 9th child, gave birth to her 10th offspring in January of 2020, and welcomed another in 2022. Although interesting and definitely a part of the strangeness, we ain't here to talk about Keke's 11 kids and their fathers. More so about the outstanding vocalist controversy surrounded a heating discussion with Love and Hip Hop's Milan Christopher and the Black Plight. During a live stream for the Mammy show, during the height of the Rona, Keke ain't had nothing in the world better to do than go back and forth with black men online. What started off as a calm discussion about the African American struggle, Keke took it upon herself to spread whataboutism after Milan Christopher stated that black Americans have been segregated, persecuted, hunted down, killed, stolen from, and humiliated.
You have to understand, black people are not the only people that have been oppressed.
A bunch of black men sitting up on a platform to discuss black struggles? Not on my watch! Keke then proceeded to roll her eyes and interrupt Milan, claiming that Mexicans and other people have too been oppressed. Black people are not the only ones that have gone through that. Asking if he could finish his statement, Christopher proceeded to call Keke out for rudely interrupting him and being sarcastic as all heck before Keke, yet again, decided to disrupt whatever it was Milan was talking about, elevating her voice as she went on a Whitney Houston at the first annual BET Awards kind of rant, listing all of the other races and people who have been oppressed in life, including her biracial kinfolk. Black people are not the only people that have been oppressed. They are not the only ones. Jewish people have been oppressed. I can keep going. I'm biracial. We oppressed? Cause black people that made us feel like shit. White people make us feel like shit. You know I don't like. No, you don't know that life. She went on to say that there is more to life than us being black. She then gave a questionable warning that if the discussion were to escalate even further, her black side would come out. As if being black equated to being aggressive, angry, hostile, cause we all know that's what Keke was alluding to. The jokes write themselves. I'm a very nice person, but when you bring the ninja out of me, honey, it come out. Now to clarify, Keke is in fact of mixed race. Her mom is white and her dad is of black and Native American descent. Revealing in a 2009 Essence interview, she chooses to claim all aspects of her ethnicity, as she should. I am a woman. I ain't like Tiger Woods. The truth is, I'm 25% black. I claim to be black, Native American, and white. I'm all of it. If you ask me, what are you? I'm going to say, I am a woman. I stand up for all women. Growing up, Keke witnessed the prejudices her parents faced for having a mixed family unit, which more than likely explains her outburst with Milan Christopher. I used to tell my mother, we're not blind to the faith because we're sitting here listening to people call her a ninja lover or accusing my daddy of being a sellout because he's with a white chick. Keke went on to apologize for her outburst later in 2021 when the viral incident spread all over the blogs. Supposedly, the outburst came out all the way wrong, and Milan triggered something within her to make her go off the way she did. Geez, you think? Oh, and we can't forget the tears that came almost immediately during her Apology Hobo tour appearance on Fox's Fox Soul, resulting in host Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan, Lisa Ray and them to soothe her rather than hold her accountable. On top of the whole Cryracial incident and Keke being shown as a diva in the worst way on the reality show R&B Divas, y'all out here saying Keke is an actual biatch as seen on her own show on the All Black Network. She's rude. She doesn't care about her own kid. Why her husband always in the same black getup and do-rag? She has a pregnancy kink. Y'all weren't letting up not one bit. Perhaps that's the real reason her music career isn't going well? Being biracial in a world where a certain race forces anyone with even a pint of blackness in them to identify solely as that race has to be extremely confusing. But from what Keke herself told us, she's not even half black, only 25%. That's about as black as Drake's son. Do you think Keke was completely out of line? Or do you think there's some truth to whatever Keke was saying? Do you agree that there's something a little strange about Keke Wyatt? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.